Okay, this is my last video for tonight, with my face on it anyway, if I can help it. I want to talk to you guys about the aftermath of domestic terrorists. I want to try and keep this short and sweet. I want you guys to remember one thing. If you don't remember anything else, I'm trying to make a difference with these videos. And some of the things that I talk about are very difficult. And some of the things I talk about hit people right here. So we talked about the August 12th thing for Virginia. I've touched on some of the indoctrination of young people and how they made really bad decisions and decided to go to these places and shoot people up. And now I want to talk about the one thing that no one is taking into consideration. The families they leave behind. The couple that murdered people, they had a baby girl. She's probably 2 years old now. She has to live with the stigmatism of her parents being murderers. If she is found out, people are going to shun her and treat her badly for something that she had no part in. The kid whose daddy shot up the Miami thing, they gave the stepmom or the mom, the wife, whatever, a lot of flack even though she had nothing to do with it. And they tried to say that she knew about it and didn't alert the police. Alright. Here's the thing. Not everybody knows what their kid's gonna do the next day. Let's keep that shit real. If your kid's a criminal and he's good at hiding from you, you're not gonna know if it's not in front of you. And if you do know, a lot of parents live in denial. They do. A lot of parents live in denial. You think a lot of the people who bullied me, parents knew that their kids were bullies? Of course not. Why did I bring that up? I'm going to explain that to you. Most people in life are under the impression that I'm raising a good kid. My kid's great. He plays sports. He hangs with good people. He does everything, or she does everything that I want her to do. She's a productive person in society. She volunteers. She helps people. Well, there was a show like that called Weeds, where the mother did everything that everybody thought was prim and proper, and on the side, she was a fucking weed dealer. Okay? For those who don't remember Weeds, it came on Showtime. I didn't get to see the whole seasons, but I did watch the first season, and from the look of it, you would never know that she was a drug dealer. That's what happens. Al Capone got busted for tax evasion because they couldn't pin anything on it. Why did I bring those up compared to what my main topic was? In the aftermath of your family, if you have a family member like Timothy McVeigh, his family with the name McVeigh will suffer. And hell, people who aren't in his family but still have the name McVeigh will have to suffer, because every time someone says, "Hello, Mr. McVeigh," someone will have a flashback and think about Timothy McVeigh. It's the same thing with the guy that shot Reagan. Same thing with the guy that shot John Lennon. Same thing with everyone around. But the families that these people belong to, they suffer too. They are innocent. It's not their fault that their daddy was a serial killer or their mom was a serial killer. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But we don't see it that way in society. We take it amongst ourselves to blame someone instead of blaming the actual perpetrator if they've committed suicide, which we can no longer blame them because they're dead, but we still won't let that family go. You know, if I grew up and I had 2 kids and I decided to become the serial rapist with a very small penis, you know, my kids are innocent. They didn't do it. That was all on me. No one wants to take accountability for the aftermath, but everybody wants to blame the family. Well, you guys knew, or you guys did this, and this fucker was a psycho, and y'all let him walk the streets, or you raised this asshole to do this and do that. Stop. Pump your brakes. Then put up the e-brake really fast and take a slide. You can't look in your child's eyes tomorrow and see if that child's going to grow up to be a serial killer. You can't. You can't look at that child tomorrow and see if she's going to grow up to be a prostitute and a serial killer or an assassin. You can't. All you can do is pray that you are influencing your child to go in the right direction. And that is the most important factor. A parent, after a child turns 18 or 21, legally isn't responsible for their actions. And you can give your child advice until you're blue in the face. If your child's not intelligent enough to take it, that's not your fault. But we don't think about that. In my other video, I brought up the young man whose mom probably thought she was raising a great kid. She probably didn't think for a New York minute that he would come to Virginia and plow through some people. Alright? But that can be said with Jeffrey Dahmer's parents, the other guy's parents, Gary, what the fuck was his name? From the Executioner song. I don't know his name right now. I knew it when I was taking ethics class, but now I don't know it. You raising a person does not mean you raised a serial killer or a domestic terrorist. Most people are so entwined with their own lives that they don't even realize what their kids are doing. Which goes back to that tech thing. I have a YouTube channel. I have 2. I only control 1 because I didn't have a Google account and I'm a computer idiot. So instead of like chaining it over, I just kept clicking the goddamn button. It disappeared. I couldn't get back into Kung Fu Havoc 1 to save my life. I want us all to think about that. I change baby diapers. I pray that my nieces will grow up to be like the other nieces whose diapers I've changed and be productive members of society, not psychopathic killers. Doesn't mean it won't happen. Everybody has a breaking point. Everyone. But that does not mean it's my fault that they broke. It might mean I may have missed something. I may have blinked. And that happens most of the time. If you have more than one child, you can't keep up with all of them. Which is a reason why if I live long enough, it'll be one and done. Unless the good Lord gives me triplets or twins, it's one and done. And at my age, I'll be lucky if I can still have a baby. So, that being said, I don't know if my sperm's viable. That's what I'm saying. That being said, we have to be aware of our children. We have to be aware of the cliques they hang with. We have to be aware of the people they talk to. We have to be aware of almost every little tiny detail. And we have to do our damnedest to discipline them and teach them right from wrong. And I want to end this with that. We can't hold other people responsible for the actions that their family members take. It's not fair to them. And it's not fair to you to be an asshole. And think, well, I'm going to blame this guy because his brother decided to kill my brother. He ain't got nothing to do with your brother. He ain't got nothing to do with the guy that killed your brother. And we have to take that shit into consideration. Which in America, we don't. Keep that in mind, though. Because you never know when it's going to be one of your kids that decide to snap and shoot up a restaurant in Toronto. Or shoot up a Trader Joe's somewhere because of something that set them off. Keep that shit in mind. That you are only responsible for how you raise them. Once you set them out in the free world, it's no longer your job to be responsible for them. But it is your job to check in on them every now and again. So until they're 18, I advise you to scan their shit. I'm James Williams Jr. It's Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.